lend themselves to improvisation.
Yeah, there's a lot in there actually that they kept in the film. Often, maybe just before a scene or afterwards, we do random things before it that sort of our characters would do, and a lot of it's actually in the film as well.
Can you think of
some of the things when we first after Fred's just done his handbrake turn, the conversation we have after that was improved.
Where he's really exhilarated.
Yeah, and also whenever the fella comes talks about the newspaper article and Fred's not so sure about it after he leaves, that stuff's improvised as well. But there's a lot in there actually. I was happy to see that because often that stuff gets cut out. When you go.
And do you enjoy doing it?
Yeah.
Is it something you've got any experience with?
From drama school, I suppose, but then also it was quite easy in this film to stay in character a lot of the time when you were doing in the scenes during the day, and just because when we were on that car park the whole day, we were there for the whole day, and it was helpful.
Yeah, it is a weird kind of. It's not a very glamorous film set, is it?
Oh, I don't think any film set is. There's a real misconception that filming is this glamorous thing, and I'm sure you've been on sets or anything, and you've seen it's really anything but, because I think it's maybe it's because people see the film and it's all glossy and shiny and new, and they see the sort of the red carpet events and they go, that's what film is like. No, it's
so this is actually much closer. You get a better idea. It's
yeah,
a pop-up. Film is a pop-up.
It really was. Yeah. It was freezing. It was in fact it was because it was two years ago. So it was that really the bad snow and everything. And the stuff up in the Wicklow Mountains that we filmed, we had to cancel there for a few days because the snow was so bad, and I think they found a body up there as well. There was that.
You've got a lot of theatre experience, and a lot of TV experience. This was your second film. What are you finding the differences between, let's say, between TV and film?
There's not a lot really. The schedule is very much the same. We're working on a very, very tight schedule. This was maybe even a bit tighter as well. So you have to learn how to get there, get the promotional stuff together very, very quickly, and know that you're only going to maybe do it once or twice. That's the same. I mean, theatre is vastly different. You get the chance to really define your character and work on it for a good 4 or 5 weeks and really get the details. Whereas in film and TV, you have to get the details very quickly, but on a similar level. So I suppose I work in the same way as I would on a theatre piece as I would on a film or TV. So so I think there's a lot of similarities, but I suppose time and the schedule and the pressure, and realising that you're far from the most important thing on set, that there's just so much going on and everybody's working on the same thing, and that you're a team. That's the same across the board.
I read the other day that this idea of a murder in film.
Yes.
Can you tell us anything about that?
I wish I could.
I mean, is it secret or you don't know?
I genuinely don't know. I mean, there's literally, as you said, mutants of it. Just we were sitting on stage at a Q&A after they'd shown the first episode of the AFI, and they said, "Oh, you're in touch for a Merlin movie." Off the cuff, and I think we reacted the same as everyone else did. We were like, "What?" It was. So I actually don't know anything about it. All I know is we're doing a fifth series.
Right, which is next year.
This is next year.
Okay. Why don't you hand it over? There's a microphone somewhere. Oh, there's no mic. So, any questions? Woman right at the back there.
How did you feel the things you dropped?
Did everybody hear that?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the shooting up scenes, or in smoking, or well, there was no needle in the smoking. I smoked for a month before the film. A few a day, but they were like herbal ones, so there's lots of camera tricks, lots of camera angles, lots of. Don't worry, I didn't genuinely.
Anyone else? No?
What do you think you're going to next in your theatre TV?
Anything that gives me a similar reaction to a script like that gives me. So whether that's in a theatre capacity or film or television or even wherever it is in the world, I go to where the good stories are. Like that's what I want to work on.
Listen there, and then listen there.
I like that you take it so seriously, but I kind of had mixed feelings about it taking that smoking for a month. Where do you draw the line?
I guess you got to do what works for you, and it's only. I guess I've seen too many things where people have been smoking films. As a non-smoker, you can really, I can tell that. So a smoker must be able to go and smoke a cigarette. So it's and also you don't want to be. It's about. Technically, you don't want to be coughing and your eyes streaming before a take. You want to be used to that. So it's technically a thing as well. And also, smoke is a very specific thing. It gives you a certain kind of attitude, and when you put that attitude with the character that you've been working on for a while, and it's a big part of what he does. I mean, it was that's a detail I wanted to get right. But yeah, I mean that was a small part of it that. I'll probably pay for later in life.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, aren't you kind of? There's a slight danger that you're going to get hooked, or not.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't, I mean, I like the feeling of it. Yeah, but it's just a character thing,
Others.
In fact, which scene was the most challenging for you to do?
Maybe I think. I suppose maybe the one where they were beating me up because they sort of did it in one shot where they had to break the glass and then drag me through. So we were trying to be really careful that there was glass everywhere, and it was one of those things where it needed to look real, but it also needed to be safe. So. Obviously, my story wasn't dramatic enough. Yeah, I guess that was. I mean, to be honest, a lot of it was pretty challenging.
Can you speak up?
Yeah, I can't take this seriously. Well, I guess
maybe we should ask them.
I know. Maybe Fred was driving me around in the car, and I could just be bored. And his lack of driving skills.
What kind of character would you like to play the most after all the characters you've been playing?
I know there's too many. I mean, I admire. I don't know, anything on the challenge. I want to be in a musical.
Or a ballet.
Yeah, again, if it's anything that challenges me, immediately I go, how the hell would I do that? That's the part I want to play.
Actually, can you tell us how you got involved in Merlin and what was the challenge about? What's been the challenge about?
I guess the sustaining your energy for the 8 months of filming is a big one. That you don't want to burn yourself out too quickly. It can happen. So you wanna not expel all your energy too quickly. And that's a big challenge, I suppose.
But also the character developing over the 4 series is something else as well.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something that the writers help you out on. Otherwise, you're kind of going, right, well, what can I do now to if it's not there on the page, what can you do to make it new and different? And as the series has gone on, you know, it's difficult to kind of move the character on a bit if because a lot of stuff happens around him, and he's the sort of the sort of epicenter and a lot of development going on. So it's important to try and keep an eye on yourself to go right. You can grow up a wee bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's something that happens just as the more as you go on, I think.
You and then the person behind you.
Switch up in your own character, particularly like one like intense kind of like project, and sort of, you know, when you kind of stop your own heritage, does it stay with you? Sort of emotions of the character?
I had something to do every night. That's what I did. Like I just. Yeah, because you don't at the end of the day of filming, I did never just go back to my hotel room. Or just either, even if it was just getting out in Dublin, or my brother was down in Dublin, so I mean, just going out and just doing something like that was important.
If you could play any character in the history of film, who would you
Maybe Paul Newman in The Hustler. Or in Hood, he was good in that as well. Yeah.
On this side.
Do you have a favourite character that you played?
Yeah, the very first role I ever had was in a play called Burning God Little, and that's like my head so far.
Can you say what?
It was first professional job, first time in London, first of everything, and a really scary time, difficult time, and then overcoming all that and being challenged in that way. That was the first time that anything had ever come along, and yeah, I just have really fond memories of it.